the crowd, when the lights come on, the crowd hated it. And then the guys I went to see the movie with, they hated it too. So I was like, wow, I'm like the only person who dug this movie here.
I didn't know that there was hatred until you mentioned it. And like, thank goodness I was too little to miss the...
The crowd, when the lights come on, the crowd hated it. And then the guys I went to see the movie with, they hated it too. So I was like, wow, I'm like the only person who dug this movie here.
And we're here, people. We got like a lot of things to get to. We really do. This is one of a fast video drop because after this, I want to talk to you all about that wonderful Daredevil Born Again Bullseye costume. But people, before we get to that, welcome back to the channel. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69. This is with me, known through Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast, beautiful multiverse as your eclectic one. People, this blew my mind. I understand love bombing things. I understand championing something. I don't understand how it's done without a sense of irony and maybe like a little bit of trolling. For example, yours truly. I do believe in my heart of hearts the greatest American, worldwide, the greatest movie ever made was Armageddon. I believe that the Michael Bay Transformer movies are of merit. I believe that Tom Cruise is the greatest actor living today or ever. And I completely love and connected to the Fast and Furious franchise. People, we all have our opinions about movies, but Tom Scioli over here, he puts out a rather long video, kind of like milking the teeth, polishing the knob of Star Wars The Last Jedi, in the only way that I would feel like would appease the Star Wars rights holders. I really feel like he put this video out there to kind of suck the nipple and virtue signal and let people know he's on board for anything Star Wars project that he can do. Now, previously he has done a Jack Kirby Star Wars project. We will discuss that later on. We touched on that a little bit during this past Jacktober, the Jack Kirby annual comic book or sketchbook event that's Tom Scioli in fact created, that he hardly participates in anymore. If you guys really want to see true effort, compare my Jacktober sketchbook versus his monthly rollout for that. But this, to me, this is just deeply laughable. It's troubling. It does make me very much consider that Tom Scioli is either A, desperate, or number two, he's on the best drugs that the streets of Pittsburgh can provide. Please give me some. Send those drugs over here, Tom Scioli. I'm only in Philadelphia. I'm only, one long car ride away. But no, and I just wanted to go through some of these clips. Now, keep in mind, this video is not monetized, but I just feel like some of these clips deserve a bit of roasting and a bit of a LOL, because he goes so hard into his love for The Last Jedi, and we all now, and he owns up that everyone in his life hates The Last Jedi, other than the weird troll, like no parentheses there, troll co-host that he has for Total Recall show. I don't know who that individual is. Doesn't matter, they don't know who I am either. And I just want to make this note. I don't know if you guys noticed, for a lot of my videos, I'm kind of upright, like I'm erect, like as if I'm spending the night in a strip club, or I'm bouncing around like the boobies of a stripper, right? And these two individuals are just like hunched over. They're just like almost like stereotypical, missing vertebrae, or they got scoliosis, Tom Scoliosis. But they're pretty much like this in the entire video. And I mean, even here, like now, like my traps are a little bit sore just getting into position for that. People, I don't get it. Why can't you sit up for a YouTube video? It just goes to show you the level of effort that we put into our videos here at the AKAPAD Army headquarters. So let's hit that first clip.
Like, I can't believe this. And so if that was part, and that it was a beast. Like, his initial script was mammoth, and they had to cut a ton of stuff out, but it was an epic. It could have been its own trilogy. And so I...
Yeah, so this gets me. What happened? Well, there was a generation of filmgoers that knew that The Godfather was a trilogy, a 2-movie strong trilogy. We had Star Wars, the greatest trilogy of all time. But then, you attempted trilogies like RoboCop, Batman Returns, Batman Forever. Guys, I absolutely love Batman Forever. If you can't tell just by some of my lighting alone, it's all inspired by that movie. And then, essentially we got a one perfect film series, the Harry Potter series, and one perfect trilogy, the Lord of the Rings. And for some odd reason, I just feel like it's desperate energy. It's desperate to kind of make a point about something. I guess the point is that something is good enough to be broken up into 3, and people like no one even considers the Captain America trilogy, the Thor trilogy, the Iron Man trilogy, and in effect even the Avengers trilogy, if you do smack together Infinity War and Endgame and just make that one big movie. I would say my favorite trilogy of all movies is Pirates of the Caribbean. I really do like 2 and 3. Those movies just sing to me. But here we go, aka Padders. What is with this obsession about things becoming trilogies? I really feel like this has destroyed Hollywood, and why would you ever back it, right? Why would you ever back the idea? Why can't something just be giant and great on its own? Why is everything a 3rd movie? It's just, I think it destroyed so much. I think if a lot of these proposed trilogies were just targeted great first films, Hollywood and the marketplace and tentpole movies or tentpole features, it would be so different. I'm not even sure if trilogies, quote unquote, even sell tickets. You want a complete movie, you want a complete experience. I'm just befuddled by that, and I would think Tom Scioli, being a cartoonist K-faker, would kind of have a similar position, but no, he just has the basic Reddit thought here. So, no, not knocking Reddit, but you guys know, it's just the low-hanging fruit thought.
Like, we're talking, like, having conversation. I didn't know there was a hate for it. I missed it completely.
Well, massive, and
like,
it's not like,
goodness.
I could say like, oh, you could be like, oh, it's just internet haters or whatever.
Yeah.
But I witnessed it firsthand with like people. Like I was there opening night, and
like I just feel like as if my brain has oozed out of my head. I feel like I've been eating 6-day-old pork roll or Spam, might have you. I do prefer pork roll over Spam, but people, you get the point. Bacteria has eroded my brain. You're telling me you didn't know people hated The Last Jedi? How? You didn't talk to anyone when you left the theater? You didn't spend any time on the internet? You didn't see anything on YouTube? You haven't seen the endless commentary of The Last Jedi even leading into the drop of that movie? It's just the level playing dumb here. Again, I'm befuddled. Next one.
And then me and my friends got together at Eaton Park afterwards and
Classic.
dissected the movie. It's just so smart, so offbeat. The decisions are unconventional. It does have heart, but it's super smart too.
And also, like,
My God, I it's almost as if like I just imagine myself as if I'm talking to Tom Scioli about this, or to anyone that has his level of enthusiasm for this movie. Yes, I understand that there's like this somewhat of apology tour when it comes to the prequel trilogy. People, the prequel trilogy, every single one of them, complete garbage and disappointment. I get it. Revenge of the Sith, kind of got it done, but the Revenge of the Sith, just everything with Chewbacca and Yoda, and Chewbacca knowing who Yoda is, and all these people knowing where Yoda is, it just destroys it flowing into A New Hope, or Rogue One. But to kind of go on a limb and call it smart, and kind of really like polish a turd, or piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, I just feel if you're a true commentator, you have to be honest. You kind of have to say that yes, the prequel trilogy came back through time. Why didn't the Matrix movies come back through time, and stuff like that, and part of it is that there's been so much work to make the prequel trilogy good, and a part of that is a giant cartoon series that I think is 7 or 6 seasons long. They chipped away on a lot of these inconsistencies and things people didn't like within the live action attempts. The level of work and the level of apology that has gone into the prequels, it's massive. And I just feel like if something similar would to happen with the Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi and the Phantom, or Force Awakens, the sequel trilogy, the level of work to correct that, it's too massive. It's really strange that you kind of put, you want to say something is over intelligent. You kind of want to say that it went over people's heads, and you're desperate to kind of validate it. And look, we do this with things that we love, but at the same time, it's just pathetic and desperate. Why waste the effort? You do have to own up that the failures of The Last Jedi is this obsession with subverting expectations, and it's a low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of credit you give to Force Awakens because of the excitement it created and what it set up, and to ignore that, it's bad business, and everyone saw it coming, and no one felt satisfied when they saw Last Jedi. Think about that. No one felt satisfied with waiting 3 years and getting all that hype and all that excitement, and no one rediscovered that on stream. Nothing is smart about Last Jedi. Just because you want to be different doesn't make your work workable or likable.
Like, consensus has sort of become that the JJ ones are like absolute garbage and worthless, like,
I love
and
those
like
things.
shit. And that this one was great and has substance. That's kind of where we're at now, which is
So this is great. This is a wondrful gaslight by Mr. Scioli. And essentially he's gaslighting the overall idea of the bookend Star Wars movies. That's what's hated, but this middle one is the intellectual fruit. We will dine. We will suck the juices from this. We will suck the juices from this intellectual fruit. We will grow our consciousness. This is The Last Jedi is the spice melange. No, the movie didn't work. We have to move on from that. It's got a effing casino scene. It's got that dumb salt planet. It's got Carrie Fisher floating through space. Okay, I can go on. It's got that Karate Kid girl in it too. It's like, people, there's so much about this movie, and in this video, he makes excuses for every little thing. I can't show it to all of you. That's why we have a link of the video down below. But this is, people, it does make, it's very similar to what happened with me and Chuck Dixon. This brings Tom Scioli down a notch, and I've already been kind of like back and forth with him, because I just feel like his level of work recently is absolutely lazy, hyperbolic, and just big-headed. I just feel like he doesn't put work into his pages anymore. Not like he used to, not like he did even with GoBots and G.I. Joe Transformers. I love G.I. Joe Transformers. GoBots, I go back to GoBots every so often. I would like to review that on this channel because it's a great lead-in to the origin of the Transformers, by the way. But no, people, let's just hit that next one.
It's like, you would just, because like, dude, when Yoda had his like scene with Luke, I was fucking crying in the theater in the dark. I'm not even kidding. That was like
Yoda was such a highlight. And also when Rey like lands on Luke's planet and then he throws away the lightsaber, I'm like, oh my, like it was a shocker. And it was
crying in the theater in the dark, right? Lending a overly emotional connection to a scene that people in my theater, people were laughing. No one took the Yoda scene seriously. The use of Yoda, what Yoda said, the state of Luke Skywalker in that Yoda scene. People, this is not the Yoda we wanted to visit from the great beyond as a Force ghost to Luke Skywalker. This was a mythology breaking, it was a character breaking moment. That Yoda scene destroys all the legacy of Yoda. It breaks the character, very similar, and even like Scully here, he's like, oh, when Luke throws the lightsaber in the beginning of Last Jedi, they should make a statue of that. He actually says that. He's in this video. It's hilarious. Again, you're pissing on my leg and telling me it's raining. These are character breaking moments. As soon as Luke Skywalker threw that lightsaber, it broke. And this is why we don't subvert expectations. We focus on great stories. I will always go to Cheers. If you watch Cheers, Sammy Malone, all right, a bunch of drunkards in Boston. So much of all of those episodes, all of those seasons, unlike Friends, unlike Sex and the City, unlike even things like Ugly Betty, the characters, a few of them interchanged with relationships, and actors and actresses left the show. New ones were introduced for romances for Sammy Malone. But people, episode to episode, Cheers was the same sphere, it was the same core, it was the same nucleus, it had the same orbit. They did a lot of things within that 22 minutes, a lot of melodrama, a lot of comedy, a lot of heights and a lot of lows when it comes to the characters themselves. But by the end, by the time the credits rolled, every single week, I think for eight plus years, when you got Cheers, you knew where the characters were beginning and ending. You always got the same characters. This is a part of the dopamine obsession with serialized entertainment, which is why you don't rock the boat. Given the Marvel Cinematic Universe did get away with that for a while, but when it came time to keep these characters true and consistent, really starting with Phase 4, they absolutely failed, and even the Marvel Cinematic Universe was obsessed with subverting expectations and not delivering a strong product. The Star Wars movies, and I would say Star Wars in all, even season 3 of The Mandalorian, has aggressively abandoned the base that built it up by subverting expectations. We want Mando, we want the Yoda baby, we want Luke Skywalker to hang out with Han Solo. We want these things over and over and over again, but just, surrounded with different levels of noise. Because we love the characters so much. We connect with the characters. We see ourselves in the characters. If you're constantly subverting expectations, you remove the audience, a chance to make that happen. Tom Scully kind of goes down a couple notches with this video. I just don't understand the absolute apology tour of Last Jedi. AKAPAD here, guys. Let me know what you think. Am I being too nitpicky? I don't think I am. I feel like I've been able to address some of these points pretty accurately. If I'm crazy, or if you're coming to me from the Total Recall show, leave a comment, be nice. Don't attack me, attack the ideas. Flex all day, all night. People, read some comics, read some regular books, but go to the gym.
Franchise killer. I saw it with my friends. They all hated it. I loved it. I saw it with my wife. For the second time I saw it with my wife, and I loved it all over again. She hated it. And she had liked 4
die.